Hello, welcome to my channel. This is Floyd Humphreys, and today I just want to talk a little bit about the light of Christ. And you know, it's something, according to John 1, that we're all born with, every one of us. Even the people that couldn't make up their mind about getting kicked out with Satan or not. You know, there was a third part that got kicked out with Lucifer, and there was a third part that realized that God had the best plan, and there was another third part. They was undecided. And so God gave them the benefit of the doubt, and they came to earth. And but they did believe a lot like Lucifer. In other words, they were Democrats or Marxists or socialists or communists. You know, the people that like, big government and not very much freedom and having somebody powerful in control of your life and stuff like that. That's what those kind of people like. But anyway, they come down here, and they was born. Some of them were evil the day they were born, because the ones that didn't follow Satan or God, that were undecided, that came anyway, they weren't all evil spirits, but some of them were. But anyway, so here we are 7,000 years later, and there isn't any question whatsoever that it's an evil world. I mean, Satan is definitely in charge, and as much as God lets him be, I mean, that's the way it goes, I mean, ultimately we know how this ends. We've read the book. So, but in the meantime, here we are, and you've got people that, well, let's look at the Democrats for a minute. Their number one priority is killing children. That's the one thing they want to be able to do more than anything else in the whole world. And they don't even want them to necessarily be born first. They want to kill them even before they're born. And anybody that thinks that a baby isn't a baby until it jumps out is just too stupid to be considered human. I mean, that's just so incredibly stupid. Nobody on earth would be stupider than the person that thinks that. So, because we know that babies that are born 3 or 4 months premature live normal lives. So, abortion is murder, plain and simple. Anybody that says it isn't is a liar, plain and simple. So, that's the number one priority of the leftists, is to be able to kill people. And that's just one way to reduce population. The other way to reduce, there's a lot of ways to reduce population, but that's a big one. But anyway, so what happens is the public education system, not just in the United States, but in the whole world, pretty much, has been taken over by Lucifer. And so the children are taught, their brains are warped when they go to school, and the government has 12 years to destroy their minds, and they do their best to do so. They even come up with a program called Head Start that they can start destroying the children's mind before kindergarten, and get them to believe in bullshit that's not real, teaching them that dinosaurs come from oil, or that oil is a fossil fuel, or just bullshit lies like that. And so you got your people that don't believe in God at all, and they'll just say, well, you're just full of crap. But anybody who thinks that this whole world was an accident is beyond incredibly stupid. I mean, far beyond incredibly stupid. Just way worse than too incredibly stupid to be considered human. I mean, it's not even possible. I mean, not even possible. So anyway, once you get that out of the way, then you get, okay, it was created. Why? For what reason? And there's a lot of people that really don't care. I've talked to people that said, I don't care. I don't care if there's a God. I don't care if there isn't a God. What does that have to do with me? I'm here. And So, those people have what's called self-induced stupidity. That's because they don't even care enough to look into it. What if it's true? Here we have, thousands of years of recorded history that's managed to survive, which in itself is a miracle. And so is it true or is it bullshit? And so there are people who research it because they wonder. Now, some people don't wonder. Some people just flat don't care. They just, thinks they're fishing. They just think they're fishing in the pond and, have fun till you die. But the people that research it get a little more into it. And of course, there's thousands and thousands of near-death experiences on YouTube where people have died, been dead for a while, and went to the other side of the veil. And there's a variety of experiences that they have, but they have a lot of things in common. Somebody could say, oh, that's all bullshit. They're just lying, trying to get some publicity or YouTube views or something. But there's just too many of them to be bullshit. It's just, there's just too many. And they have too many things in common. And yet, they're all different. So, to call all of those people crazy or liars or whatever is ridiculous. You have to at least think that it's a possibility. But there's other people that know too, besides the people that have had an NDE. There's people that have had personal visions. There's people that have had personal revelations. There's people that have had visitations. There's people that have experienced miracles, real miracles. I have. And I know other people that have. So, some things are beyond coincidence. So what it comes down to is there's opposition in all things. There's a north and a south pole on a magnet. There's an up and there's a down. There's a here and there's a there. And so there's a good and there's a bad. And generally, a lot of people call the light of Christ their conscience. In other words, when people are born, they're born with a knowledge of what's good and bad, and generally that's true. People do know. It doesn't mean they don't do bad, but they do it knowing that it's bad. It's not that they didn't know it was wrong, they just did it anyway. So the conscience, some people don't have a conscience. But the light of Christ, everybody that was born with the light of Christ. So if you don't have it, it's because you've blocked it. And maybe your teachers blocked it. Who knows how it got blocked? There's all kinds of, Utah is famous for reprogramming children. Do you know there's over 100 different businesses in the state of Utah that's their purpose, is to reprogram children. So the parents all across the nation or around the world or wherever they come from, thousands of them, maybe their kids ADHD or something, or so they take them to the doctor and the doctor gives them some drugs and then they become psychotic, and so then the parents don't like how the children are, so the parents send the children to Utah to these to be reprogrammed. They're reprogramming centers. That's what they are. They're to reprogram the children. So it's hard to say how the children got unprogrammed, and it's even harder to say if the way they get reprogrammed is any better than what the hell, they not too bad. So I got a better mic and better use it next time. Anyway, so everybody has the light of Christ unless they blocked it. Now there's a lot of energy, money, billions and trillions of dollars being spent in order to block it. And, we know that the government does all kinds of things, Mark Zuckerberg admitted that he, through the 2020 election, he admitted that he was coerced by government to do so. And Elon Musk found out that there was hundreds of people that were FBI agents, CIA agents, and different people that deep state that was bent on controlling the official narrative at Twitter, and he fired 1,000 people like pretty quick. And so you can hardly believe, if you watch mainstream media, it's possible you haven't heard the truth a single time in 10 years, maybe 20. I mean, when they tell a story of somebody died, that person probably actually died, but everything else about the story is probably bullshit, And it's kind of like right now, this hurricane damage we got down in North Carolina and Georgia and Tennessee and Florida. The government is actually threatening to arrest people. There's videos on YouTube where people went down there in their private helicopters, and they were, if you don't quit rescuing people, we're going to put your ass in jail. I mean, that's just how that is. And so then Elon Musk wanted to put a bunch of Starlinks in there so that people would at least have internet, some of them. And some of them have already got internet, but if their internet was off of a phone line that got washed out or something, but some people, like if they had cell phone hotspots or something like that, or a satellite dish, of course they've still got internet, but a lot of people don't. So Elon wanted to put a bunch of Starlinks down there, and FEMA went down there and, nope, you guys, jail if you want to help anybody. So, that's the stories that you'll never hear on the nightly news. Of course, there's all kinds of stories like that on alternative media and on YouTube and, the truth channels. So anyway, the light of Christ is a big deal. It's a real big deal. And it's probably the most important deal there is. And if you haven't got it, if you've blocked it or it's been blocked, you better look into that. And you better look into, there's so many people that believe bullshit, and it's unbelievable how many of them believe it. I mean, just look at this last pandemic we was in. I mean, there's people that believe all kinds of stupid shit. And yet there are people out there, scientists and doctors, that tell the truth. But people, it's like people being a member of a church that they only listen to that church and they don't listen to anything else. And so they're basically programmed not to ever listen to truth. If somebody tells you anything different than what I do, they're a liar, and they believe it. So here it are. We're in the last days. I mean, this is part of eternity, but this particular part isn't. I mean, it's the earth is going to be massively changed pretty quick. We've got a few upcoming things, just like the election, and will we even have another fair election? It's a lot of people have said that there'll never be another fair election since Trump. But there's other prophecies like in the Apocrypha and stuff, and see, a lot of people don't even know what that is. A lot of people have never read a Dead Sea Scroll, and so here's this vast amount of information that somebody, a lot of people say, I don't care about any of that shit. Let's go to McDonald's. So, you might want to start thinking about some of these things, because about 50% of the world believes in shit that isn't even slightly correct, not even remotely real, not even half-truth. And so if you're one of those people that everything you believe is a lie, then you need to look, because the truth is out there. The truth is not hiding. I mean, the government would like to hide it, but the truth is everywhere. I mean, it's on YouTube. It's on a lot of these different alternative media sites and stuff like that. So the truth can be found. Anyway, I just wanted to put that out there, and I thank you for watching. I've got other videos. I appreciate your support. Subscribe if you want. Have a great day.